Out of nowhere, two armed muggers came over to rob me and my cameraman and barely spared us only after recognizing Jamaica walk by as he yelled, "Bumbleclat!"
Let's do Tyler Oliveira first, and then we'll move on to Honey.
Tyler Oliveira, YouTuber turned investigative journalist.
By go to the show, friend of the show, Vince Vintage, who delivered us a Christmas miracle. I have been talking to a lot of YouTubers that have noticed Tyler Oliveira's like incredibly fucking right-wing content. So it's cool that other people are also taking notice of this.
With 7 million subscribers, Tyler's had quite a bit of impact on the world, with hit videos such as cat-eating Haitians in Springfield, Ohio, or neo-Nazis uprising in Germany. His investigative work into
neo-Nazis in air quotes.
Hot-button political situations reaches hundreds of millions of people. Now, while Tyler claims his videos raise awareness of the problems in our world,
We are informing people about current events, topics that the broader public needs to be aware of.
and that he's YouTubified news and journalism,
We've YouTubified traditional news and documentarian content.
and while his fans state that Tyler's one of the greatest journalists of our time, that he's unbiased, a searcher for the truth, I'm here to tell you today that this is all a big lie. In my opinion, Tyler pushes hoaxes for truth, dehumanizes people for clicks and views, and manufactures fake videos to sell to hundreds of millions of people as hard-hitting journalism. In my opinion, Tyler only throws gasoline on the problems in America, all in the name to get clicks and views. Today, we are going to expose who Tyler Oliveira really is. Because whether you're left-leaning, right-leaning, you like Tyler, you hate him, I think everyone can agree that a lie is bad. And when those lies are pushed to hundreds of millions of people as the
XC watched the George Floyd murder. That was so disgusting for me. Even a lot of his chat shat on him, but there was a lot that were spamming base, especially in his YouTube comments. Yeah. YouTube has turned incredibly right. I mean, YouTube was always incredibly right-wing. There was a period where they like tried to tackle it a little bit, and it's back. It's super back, and it's supercharged. The problem is that there is a massive, there is there's just like a massive orbit of other content creators, like secondary content creators, secondary markets that like react to Tyler Oliveira videos and oftentimes don't have the proper tools to address what they are seeing, because Tyler Oliveira Mr. Beastifies these like political these political issues, okay, and presents it as though it is totally neutral. Obviously, the first moment that I saw these fucking AI made thumbnails, I was like, this guy's out of his fucking mind. And I've been talking about this stuff for quite a bit, but clearly other people are oblivious to the right-wing nature of this propaganda.
The unbiased truth, I would say there's a little bit more than just a problem. Now, normally I don't make exposed videos, but after me and Tyler got into a little Twitter spat, it led me down a rabbit hole of his content that I thought was so twisted and sick that I thought the entire world should know about it. And I'm so surprised that all of this stuff I'm going to talk about has never been mentioned before online. Now, I'm not going to talk about Tyler's drama with Soft White Underbelly, Brent Riviera, the Las Vegas Tunnel people. Everything in this video is newfound stuff that I've discovered over the past 4 or 5 months. So, before we get going, Tyler, I am not trying to cancel you.
I dream of people come for the cancellation. Bring it. Please cancel me. Please.
I'm not trying to take you off the platform. I'm not even going to call you a racist, a Hitler, Tyler Oliveira.
I think when you start throwing around the R word, the conversation becomes a lot more
I will.
difficult.
I'm just going to call you for what you really are, a liar. So today, let's discover who Tyler Oliveira really is.
Chat is so funny because they're like, oh, well, he's being a lib. It's like, no, dude, this is effective. Like, what are you talking about? And it might be his own personal perspective. Okay, calm down. I think a lot of you forget that it's important for people to be introduced to what Tyler is doing from the perspective of someone who is otherwise unbiased. Okay, that you're being silly. Okay, you're not putting yourself in the mind of an average normie who like encounters these 7 million, 10 million viewed YouTube videos that doesn't understand that it's like right-wing shit slop filled to the brim with fucking lies. Okay.
Now, Tyler's journalism consists of him going into hot-button political situations, talking to both sides, and always coming to the conclusion that whatever city he's in, it's ending all of a sudden, that it's the worst place he's ever seen. Now, these videos are seen by hundreds of millions of people. People actually take these in for journalism. But this is all just a facade. Now, let's go to his video, Oakland, where every crime is legal. Now, this video consists of Tyler going to Oakland, California, talking all about the car break-ins and how they've gone up 50 million% or whatever it is.
This is Oakland, California.
The owner of this property is not responsible for any theft or vandalism. The owner of this property is not responsible for
Lawlessness, crime, homelessness, police giving up.
And the whole video essentially boils down to, if you come to Oakland, your car will get broken into. So just keep that in mind. Now, in the beginning of the video, we see Tyler at a gas station, and we can hear overhead this audio playing.
The owner of this property is not responsible for any theft or vandalism.
Now, if you're at a gas station and they're playing that overhead, it's got to be pretty bad with the car break-ins. So we see Tyler vlogging around, and then we see the next shot of this Kia. And if we look on the dash, you can see a PS5 with the PS5 controller. Why would someone leave a PS5 on their dash at the gas station where they're overhead playing? Your car is going to get broken into. But let's continue on. Now, in the next shot, we see the same Kia. And if we look on the dash, we can see that same PS5 and the controller. Now, why would Tyler be filming this from far away? Maybe Tyler was trying to bait someone into breaking into this car. That seems like a crazy theory. How could we know that that's Tyler's car? Well, later on in this video, Tyler gets a parking ticket.
While the police may not do anything if you break into someone's car, commit Grand Theft Auto, steal an ATM, or beat and rob an old lady on the street, if you park on the side of the street and don't pay the meter, you will be fined and punished.
We got a $61 parking ticket.
And he complains that, wow, people could break into cars and do drugs, but
No.
I get a parking ticket.
Is that his
Well,
own
if we look
car?
at that parking ticket,
Oh my God. Okay. Oh my God. That is, oh my God. This motherfucker is the police, dude. That's crazy. Oh my God. Look at the license plate. What a dumbass. He put that
a
in.
little closer, oh, we could see it's the same license plate that is on the car at the gas station. So Tyler went to the store, bought a PS5, put it on the dash, left his car out, and hid out in a little bush trying to capture someone breaking into his car. Tyler is baiting someone into breaking into his car to try to capture it on footage. Because
Also, I mean, he literally put the PlayStation 5 on his dash. Like, who the fuck would put the PlayStation 5 on their dashboard when they're just simply getting gas?
what would make the ultimate footage for Tyler? Oh my God, I went to Oakland, California, and the break-ins are so bad that my car got broken into. And clearly, no one broke into it, because who would be dumb enough? Clearly looks like some like cop sting operation shit. This is like levels of like faking a prank video times 10. But when you're trying to pass this off as actual news footage, on the ground journalism, I would say that's not something a truthful journalist would do. And after catching this right here,
Did you think Tyler did shit like this? I didn't think he would put this much effort into staging stuff. I think he's just like, he goes there, he links up. I know what the method is. You go there, you interview as many people as possible. You take some of the craziest fucking sound bites. You put the craziest sound bites that correspond to the right-wing narrative on there. Pepper in a little bit of like normal takes as well, just so you can still maintain the veneer of objectivity. Then the guy, the local handler that you have is like straight up Hitler, right? It's almost always like a guy who he brings on as a local reporter, and then you look up the local reporter's name and it's like there's 11 articles about how he got fired from the local news outlet that he used to work at for raping women or some shit, right? And then he now runs a blog where he thinks that he believes that like homeless people are responsible for the Democratic Party's QAnon, a deep state pedophilia, sex trafficking, and then slap on a guy that is a also like a local leader. The local leader is almost always some fucking insanely right-wing guy as well. And there you go. It's literally the old school prank YouTuber who did this MAGA car in the hood video. Yeah, it's Joey drinks his own piss. Joey Salads, right? Wasn't that his name?
It really made...
And it's really funny because like independent journalists love talking about how mainstream media is fucked up. How is this any different than fucking Clarissa Ward? Everybody loves shitting on CNN and being like, oh, remember when Clarissa Ward like staged that guy or did the prison break-in for the one fucking Syrian prisoner that should have stayed in prison? That's literally what Tyler is doing every fucking video. And the same people that despise mainstream news for doing that sort of shit turn around and eat this garbage up and go, this is objective. This is real independent journalism.
Made me think, could I seriously trust anything in Tyler's videos? Is this something that a investigative journalist would do? Leave a PS5 in one of the highest car breaking areas in the fucking country? I don't think so. Like, what the fuck? Like, and Tyler still used this footage. That's what blows my mind. And didn't think anyone would find this. Like, look at that. It is a PS5 combo package deal with a controller on the dash. How fucking dumb are you? Like, Tyler went to Best Buy and was considering, like, should I just get the PS5? No, I should get the PS5 and the controller. Someone would definitely break into a car for the controller as well. So, throughout the rest of this video, just think about this. This is how far Tyler's willing to go to make a good story.
We've YouTubeified traditional news and documentarian content, basically.
Like, you bought the controller. Why would you buy the controller as well? So let's go to Tyler's video, Oakland, where every crime is legal. Now, Tyler's videos start out with him flying to the place, checking it out, talking.
How is this type of reporting not illegal? Like, it's blatantly lying to the public? Brother, what are you talking about? It's not illegal to lie. The most popular news broadcast in the country on network television are serial liars. Fox News. Fox News is defended that it's not real news broadcasting, but simply entertainment in courts to defend themselves when they were caught openly lying.
Talking to both sides, and he'll intersperse news clips or relevant news footage of these events happening in that city.
With 1 of every 30 residents having their cars stolen last year, a 38% increase in robberies, 23% increase in burglaries, and 44% increase in motor vehicle theft.
Because frankly, when Tyler goes to these places, it's not as bad as he always wants it to be. So by Tyler showing all these news clips, it could seem way worse than what it really is. Now, Tyler is passing this along as actual information. That this is actually...
Again, classic Hasanabi take is that lying is so legal in the United States that they call it something else when you legally lie.
Actually how the city is. Now, these news clips are always from the city that Tyler's in. Or are they? In this Oakland video, Tyler brings along this prestigious reporter.
Yeah, he does this shit all the time too. He just peppers in
Bay Area native
irrelevant.
and investigative journalist Darren Stalcup to hit the...
Let's see if the Tyler method that I presented to you seems correct. Now, I don't know anything about this guy. Let's see.
And see what's really going on in Oakland.
Tyler shows clips of him going on Fox News, that he's been all around town investigating the homeless crisis within Oakland, California. Now, this guy isn't a journalist. He's actually a used car salesman who pulled a $7,000 GoFundMe scam a couple months earlier.
I talk a lot about right-wing grifters in my videos, but this week Fox hosted one that was so lazy. I'm honestly kind of impressed. This guy, Darren Mark Stalcup, is trying to raise $10,000 to move from the Tenderloin neighborhood of San Francisco to another neighborhood in San Francisco.
I'm currently looking at the Chinatown neighborhood, but I'm open to other districts as well.
And it's actually working. I looked into this guy a little more, and he has another GoFundMe, also for $10,000, but this one is trying to achieve world peace. So either world peace is like a lot cheaper than I thought, or, and far more likely, he just wants $10,000.
But let's continue on. So the used car salesman's riding around with Tyler, and all of a sudden he brings up how he's seen kids as young as 7 years old walking around with guns in Oakland. Now that sounds pretty wild. Tyler then shows this news clip on screen.
I don't know why we're being followed when there's no doubt criminal activity left, right, and center.
A lot of the kids have guns now, so when I'm walking around, I'm not looking for some 25-year-old guy with a gun.
Watch out for 13-year-olds out here.
I'm looking for 7-year-olds with guns.
So when the reporter brings up kids with guns in Oakland, Tyler intersplices a news clip of a teen in trouble that we're led to believe is from Oakland. Because frankly, Tyler doesn't see the kids with guns, so he's got to show news clips to prove that this is actually happening. But what if I was to tell you that this news clip he shows as evidence isn't from Oakland, but from Miami, Florida, 2
Baby with a blicky.
years ago? But Tyler passes it off as this is what's happening in Oakland. Even though we can't see the kids with guns, we'll just take his word for it. Teen in trouble. Sounds really bad. But let's continue on. Maybe this is just a little mistake. So Tyler and Darren are talking to a business owner and they bring up all of the machine guns that are in Oakland, and that's why crime is up. It is so horrible up there. Oakland is so bad that people...
Hi, just joined. Just want to say that your listeners include us. We don't join because you don't talk to us, but I got here to say that we are listening. Talk to us too. You should speak to us too. We need the message. What? Who is us? What are you saying? Account created 13 minutes ago. Following since 11 minutes ago. What the fuck? I need to know. Older people like me. Thank you.
People have machine guns and they're walking around.
It's crazy that in my mind, there's a grandmother behind that account and they're on their like 11th sock account that...
Mind you, it's California. Like, the gun laws are insane here. And then Tyler shows this clip. A scary black man with machine gun manhunt in the corner.
I believe it's necessary for law-abiding citizens to have the means and capability to defend themselves. As you know, all the criminals out here have guns, so I have no problem with you. And I actually feel safer.
Machine guns?
And we're led to believe this is actually happening in Oakland. But this clip isn't from Oakland. It's from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Once again, Tyler is literally making shit up to push a narrative. And this is in nearly every video Tyler releases. Let's go to Tyler's video where he goes to Memphis, the most violent city in America. In the beginning, Tyler shows this clip of 2 scary black men robbing a car in a gas station, and we're led to believe this is from Memphis.
This is Memphis, the most violent city in America.
But it's not. It's from Chicago PD, and Tyler even goes out of his way to cut out the Chicago PD in the upper left-hand corner. So Tyler deliberately knew what he was doing. Now, normally I wouldn't really care about this type of thing, but Tyler is using all of these violent images and video to pass off a narrative that these places that he visits are so horrible. And it's really being used to just make up shit about the city, because frankly, it's not as bad as he wants it to be. And when you're at the point of having to use random news footage to sell off this narrative, I would say that's not really the unbiased truth or investigative journalism. But it doesn't end there with Tyler. In his video, I investigated the gun violence capital of America, aka Chicago, Tyler shows this clip.
This investigation is whack. All he's proving is that Tyler is not a geography major. This is a good one. Respect. I agree. Yeah. Who could, excuse me, it's really messed up. Anyone could confuse news footage from Chicago with news footage from Memphis, okay? Really messed up.
When the man's talking about petty theft in Chicago.
But all the crime down here is just like petty theft, breaking into cars, go to certain neighborhoods.
Now, petty theft is non-violent theft that is under $500.
Unintelligent person alive.
It isn't some burglary or mugging or whatever. But while this guy's talking about petty theft, Tyler then shows this clip to almost disprove the guy. Like, wow, he's talking about petty theft, but clearly there's 4 black men robbing a car in the middle of Chicago. That sounds pretty wild. But once again, this clip isn't from Chicago. It's from Houston, Texas, 4 years ago. I can do this all day long. Tyler makes up shit to fit his narrative. And when that narrative is being used as the unbiased truth or journalism, I would say that's pretty bad, in my opinion. But let's just continue on. Or let's go to Tyler's video. I investigated the murder capital of America, New Orleans. Now, Tyler's talking about living a life of crime, and he shows this clip on screen.
A lot of people die due to gun violence. With murders happening every day, countless kids are left without strong parental figures, get raised by the streets, live a life of crime, have a few...
Wow, a black man just shooting someone in the middle of the day?
Bro,
oh
it
my,
just
oh my
says
God.
New York.
New Orleans
It literally says New York right there.
is absolutely horrible. But that clip literally says it's from New York. That is how lazy Tyler is with this content. He is just taking random violent imagery, putting it in his videos, and trying to sell it off as this is the truth.
Our goal is simply to educate, inform, and entertain, and hopefully do all three at once. We're boots on the ground, as they say, balls deep, trenches thick.
Is this really what a journalist would do? Let's go to Tyler's Sweden video. Sweden, inside the country that pays immigrants $34,000 to leave.
The video that we're watching, ripping Tyler a new one, is Vince Vintage.
Now in this video, Tyler's interviewing a Muslim activist, and Tyler asked the question, is Islam's values maybe not compatible with Sweden?
Of Islam conflict with Swedish society and Swedish law.
And while the lady goes into Islam and all these other countries, but when Tyler goes to the part of her talking about Islam in Sweden, Tyler shows this video on screen.
The way someone see Islam in Afghanistan or in Somalia or in Iran or in Sweden is obviously different.
And we're led to believe, wow, while this lady is talking about Islam being peaceful, they are protesting, oh my God, and there's an ISIS flag. Clearly that isn't just a peaceful protest that they have ISIS flags in Sweden. But once again, this clip isn't from Sweden. It's from motherfucking Malaysia. And I could do this all goddamn day long, Tyler. It's nearly in all of your videos you are passing this off as the truth. Because frankly, when Tyler goes to these places, it's not as bad as he wants it to be.
Just trying to get like some views on social media. So do you have some idea, or do you want to get detained for obstruction?
I mean, you can detain me, but am I under arrest? And if so, for what charges?
Oh my God. Explore with us got the body camera footage of Tyler Oliveira getting fucking arrested and behaving like a sovereign citizen. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. Mr. Audit the audit ass motherfucker over here. Oh, he's doing, excuse me, am I being detained?
Harassment.
You're gonna harass me right now?
Said you're being detained, sir.
Whoa. That's, you can't
Put
do
it
that.
down.
You can't do that.
Are you going to identify yourself or not?
Okay, I'm on public property.
Are you going to identify
You
yes
can't strong arm me.
yes or no?
We're going to court over this if you want.
And once again, I would just, let me be clear. Is this what a really thorough investigative journalist would do? Be so lazy with the content that they make that they're just throwing in random news clips of, as we've seen right now, only black guys committing crimes, all to amplify the video and make it seem as horrible as
When predators, wait, EWU, when predators call the cops on a
And he
YouTuber?
just kept trying to say, hey, well, we're going to sell you candy. You can't be here to sell candy and stuff.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, yeah, we know that.
Oh, is this like the pedophile community or whatever? 9 counts of possessing child pornography, 1 count of computer solicitation. Did he go to like a pedophile community or whatever? Like there's places like that in America, chat, where people who have done horrific crimes in the past will not be able to live in certain neighborhoods, so they just like build pedophile neighborhoods, also known as Mar-a-Lago. Get it? Anyway, yeah, they can't like purchase property or rent property in certain neighborhoods, so they just sometimes move to Florida. But if they can't move to Florida, there's like neighborhoods that they live in together with a bunch of other diddlers.
Solicitation of a child. But a case that really dominates his criminal history has a closer connection with selling candy bars than subscribe profile on Miracle Village, a community in Palm Beach County, Florida that's also home to a large population of offenders. On the morning of March 27, 2024, when Tyler Oliveira visits this trailer park to make yet another viral video, things take a horrible turn in a direction nobody could have anticipated.
What is this? So they're all sex offenders. They're living in this like neighborhood. Tyler Oliveira goes there, annoys them, so they call the cops on Tyler Oliveira.
You made contact with them, and what happened?
And let them fight. Let them fight.
He just kept trying to say, hey, well, I'm going to sell you candy. I said, you're not, like on the phone, I was saying, it's wrong. You can't be here to sell candy and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we know that. Well, you're offenders. Oh, okay, so what's your point?
Right.
Indeed, this isn't just about Charles, but a reality of every resident of the mobile home park as a whole. Starting in 2007, a group called Florida Justice Transitions has largely operated the park to provide housing to people who were on the offender list. Palace Mobile Home Park was often frequented by visitors who were curious to find out more about it. Charles tells the police that he has caught just such a person on video.
Cops are already on the way. Are you?
The thing that's like really annoying about this sort of shit is that you can't even be like, dude, yeah, don't go and fucking annoy these people, right? That have done their time, because the crime is so horrific that most people will be like, why are you defending pedophiles? Because they just have like no comprehension whatsoever. You know what I mean? Where it's one of those situations where it's like, this is why so many of the worst people that you know are constantly like, I'm doing pedophile hunting or whatever the fuck. Right? Because everyone objectively understands that these people are bad. Okay? They're evil. It's the closest you can get to like pure evil, right? Well, they still got to live somewhere. And it seems like one of these 501c3s have created a fucking trailer park for them so that they could just like live their pedophile lives. Why would you want to go there? I mean, I think that there is a reasonable. You could definitely do like a reasonable like news bit on something like this. It's just that Tyler Oliveira has never invested in honest and straightforward reporting or documenting the way that people live. He's just invested in the content. So he's just going to go there and be like, I'm surprised he didn't bring a child there. You know what I mean? And been like, ooh, look at this young boy. He's by himself. He should try to do a bait car, but with a child. Yeah, Louis Theroux would be a great example of like how a person with genuine curiosity would be able to cover something like this. You know what I mean? Whereas he's over here baiting.
So the other guy in the car just kept taking pictures the whole time.
Yeah.
It's wrong to come in here and attack the guys like this.
They've never been here before. Okay.
As Charles continues to bring the officer up to speed from the events of the day, he further clarifies why the residents made note of this particular visitor.
Which kind of scary.
He's like, leave a child cooking on the dashboard. Tyler Oliveira be like, hey, let's get a bait child, put him on the dashboard, let him cook. Okay, let's continue.
It's possible.
I'm just saying that he'll probably try to attack Vince and be like, I got arrested for documenting pedophiles. Like, he's gonna fucking say that. Why are you defending pedophiles? I got arrested for trying to show the truth about pedophiles. It's like, no, dude, you somehow arrived at a position where you're like so fucking annoying that you've annoyed the pedophiles. Okay, you annoyed the pedophiles in the pedophile community so much so that you got the cops siding with the pedophiles over you. Okay, imagine how fucked up that situation must be. Imagine how bad your vibes are that the cops are like, yeah, we're gonna defend the pedophile community over you because you have somehow found yourself to be the bad guy here. Okay, like, that's insane. I mean, that's an impressive feat, to be honest.
Is that what a journalist would do? I don't think so. Now, I know Tyler is intentionally doing this because I've back-checked a lot of his videos, and a lot of the news clips are from the city that Tyler's in. And these are just...
Yeah. The pedophile community was like, bro, your vibes are fucked. I'm not gonna lie. Dude, that is crazy.
Just a few of the examples that I found. But trust me, it takes a hell of a lot of time trying to back-source like where these news clips are from, especially when Tyler doesn't show the title or link any sources in his videos. So this is just a few that I found. I can't even imagine how many more there are. Now, beyond using random news clips as actual evidence of all of these cities...
Brother, what the fuck is the pedophile community? Registered sex offenders have a hard time with home ownership or renting for obvious reasons, considering that they're usually on a sex offender registry. This is the reason why some some organizations that focus on rehabilitative justice will try to build communities specifically for them away from schools and other places that they're not supposed to be around. Because at the end of the day, when you serve your fucking crime, when you serve time for the crimes, the heinous crimes, no matter how heinous they are, that have been committed, you still need to live somewhere. They try to find a place for them to relocate to. And there are probably I mean, I haven't investigated this matter any further, but I suspect that there are probably some decent reasons for why they do that. The decent reasons being that it reduces the likelihood of people to reoffend. It allows them to also check in with their parole officers, things of that nature, so they can continue being, so they're not traveling around too much. You know, it's not like, I don't think that they do it so that like the pedophiles can become stronger by joining up in arms and figure out new methods of accruing CSAM or whatever. What? So homeless is a worse crime than sex offenders because they can't? No, this is like, these are, I think that homeless people should also have these sorts of like relocation initiatives as well. And there are plenty of groups that try to create alternatives.
Falling apart. What about the other lies Tyler has in his videos? Now let's go to his one video. Tyler investigates the murder capital of the world, Jamaica. Now Tyler makes it a point that it is so dangerous here. It's the murder capital of the world.
This is Jamaica, the murder capital of the world.
That's a big old knife.
So he has to hire a local guide to protect him and show him around. Now walking around the town, Tyler says this.
I'm going over the farm. The farm? The farm. That is a farm. Right over there. Yeah, we can go over there. Come.
While my guide was nowhere in sight, I first thought I was setting myself up to get robbed. But it turns out, this guy was giving me a full tour of the community with unexpected hospitality.
All right, we're visiting the garden right now. A little baby young mango. Is this where you make the juice?
So I'm thinking, oh my God, Tyler's gonna get murdered. Tyler's in the murder capital of the world without his guide. Oh my God, he's gonna die. He's gonna get robbed. Seems pretty bad. But let's watch.
Yeah, it's also easier to track these people and keep tabs on whether they're reoffending when you have the address of a stable residence rather than the woods they camp out in.
This interaction from a different angle.
Is this where you make the juice?
Yes.
Thank you. Oh, so this is what we just tried.
Oh, okay. That's Tyler's cameraman. That's clearly the same thing going on. Where's this camera angle from? Oh, it's almost like his guide was right there and took this footage, but Tyler had to sell it off is that his guide was nowhere to be seen and that Tyler was gonna get murdered.
While my guide was nowhere in sight, I first thought I was setting myself up to get robbed.
Tyler's guide posted a 2-hour-long vlog of their entire day, and the guide was there the entire time. Tyler wasn't walking on his own about to get murdered. That was all just made up.
While my guide was nowhere in sight, I first thought I was setting myself up to get robbed.
And this is just something where it's so small. But why do you have to lie about this? I walked around on my own in the murder capital of the world. Like really, Tyler's dissing the guy that he's doing a horrible job and just left and disappeared. But he's right there. He is right there filming this footage from a different angle. You were literally just making shit up to just sell a narrative. That this place is absolutely the most despicable thing you've ever seen. Now, if he's willing to lie about something so small like this, to just really just amplify the violence and the crime in here, when he clearly doesn't see it around him.
So he's racist? Whoa, can we just call him that in this video? Impossible challenge? GamerGirl24, maybe understand that you're not the target demographic for this. If you're in this community, you're probably already very familiar with dog whistles, racism, white supremacy, and even Tyler Oliveira, who channels a lot of those things in most of his content. Recognize that maybe not every YouTube video that we watch is directed towards you, and maybe for a much broader audience that would immediately fucking say Vince Vintage is a woke libtard. It seems like he's biased. It seems like he's biased against Tyler Oliveira because he's woke and a liberal. You know, let's just watch. I think covering this video from the angle of how serially Tyler Oliveira lies, which is like a neutral language to use, is the appropriate way to do it, especially for the broadest audience, especially when Tyler Oliveira presents himself as a neutral, objective journalist. He literally said this topic was never talked about on the internet, even though you pointed it out months ago. Yeah, I've been talking about Tyler Oliveira. Boy has also talked about Tyler Oliveira as well. But as far as I understand, with the exception of like me, Boy, and that one other content creator, those smaller content creator that we watched before, many people are oblivious to the ways in which Tyler Oliveira operates.
What else would Tyler lie about? Now, later on in this video, Tyler's walking around Jamaica in a clearly peaceful looking town, and he's asking all of these people, how bad is the crime here? Am I gonna die if I walk around here? And clearly,
Saji Sharma.
No one's buying into it.
You think we'll die today?
No, not today.
Not today?
Not today. Today's not good.
And that's not what he wants to hear. He has to amplify the violence and the crime of where he's at. So while Tyler's looking around, he sees this truck and he says this.
This is what you're talking about. There's bullet holes on that thing. We saw a beryllium truck. That's the equivalent of one of the trucks in the U.S. that carries the cash, which means that someone's probably planning to steal from it right now.
So there's bullet holes on the truck, and that means someone's planning to steal it right now.
There's bullet holes on that thing, which means that someone's probably planning to steal from it right now.
That's how bad it is. People are robbing the cars. They're robbing the bank cars. That's how bad it is here. But let's look at that car a little bit closer. Oh, wow, it looks like it was just kind of scratched. Now, I had to look in this a little bit more. The company that owns this is called Beryllium, and Beryllium just bought out a company called Guardsman. Guardsman, they're all based in Jamaica, has red trucks. So would it really be that the car shot up with bullet holes and they're continuing to use it? Or that the car was red, they wrapped it black, and the car scraped against something and now it's there? Why do you have to lie about that? Why do you have to make up this insane narrative? Oh my God, there was a robbery in place and I was about this. That didn't happen, Tyler. This is all he does in his videos. He goes around and he preponders at the crime in all of these horrible cities that he visits.
And then when there isn't crime, he just creates the feeling that there is crime about. And when he can't create the feeling that there is crime about, then he basically just like tries to create crime, like setting up a bait car, shit like that.
Is that really journalism? Is that really this unbiased truth that you tell? Like these people in this video, the tour guide that you're with, he's just trying to live his life. He's trying to do better. But you come into his country.
That's why I really appreciate a lot of the travel vloggers like, what is his name? Drew Binsky. Someone also brought him up. Like travel vloggers on YouTube that go to these places, impoverished nations, and actually shows like the day-to-day existence and the beauty that exists in every other country. I really appreciate. Like it's basically the reverse of what Tyler is doing here. You know what I mean? That's why I also like Speed when he does stuff like that, where he highlights some of the cool aspects of a country that he's visiting.
And just absolutely shit on it for like 40 minutes. It's disgusting. I don't know how you could do that. In this guide, if you go on his YouTube channel, all of the comments from underneath his video where he hung out with you, Tyler, for 2 hours are like, I don't trust this guy. This guy's a...
Don't let this Tyler guy fool you. Watch out for him. He's not genuine. Oh, he liked it too. Jamaica walk by. Please don't work with this boy no more because you helping him make Jamaica look bad. His thing is to make our country look very evil and bad. Those people all the way coming our country and way disrespect Jamaica and our country, using Jamaica for contents. I can't support those people.
The snake. This guy made our place look so bad. And the guide is like trying to defend. He's like, no, Tyler's actually a good guy. He helped me get views and subscribers and stuff. And it's like, that's so disgusting that you're making this guy subtly, you know, you're not asking him to defend you. But
what do you think about Arab chilling with Taliban? I'm actually kind of shocked because I never thought I would see the day where I would watch a Arab video, but I have been watching his TikTok videos where he's chilling with the Talibros, as he calls them. And it's actually really interesting. Obviously, there is he's not showing the full scope of everything, but most people that go to Afghanistan are not going to be able to do such a thing. But it's been shocking. He is not exactly how do I describe it? Taliban with American accents. I mean that part doesn't shock me at all. What shocks me is that he's not. It's weird. He's not doing. He's currently still in Afghanistan. The content creator Arab who claimed he got kidnapped by Haitian warlords. If you remember, that became like a news story. He's in Afghanistan. I don't know if he still is, but I'm pretty sure he's still in Afghanistan. and he's hanging out with a bunch of people that he calls the Talibros. Okay. Overall, he's not a great dude. I mean, he's really, really bad. Not a fan of mine at all. Ironically enough, he's homies with Aiden Ross. And originally, when me and Will started our podcast, Christ, Morant, when Will and I first started our podcast called Fear and Malding, we actually wanted to use the name Brand Risk. Okay. And he, at the time, was like a Fortnite content creator before he went on this like crazy right-wing pivot. And he was like, no, our podcast is called Brand Risk. You can't steal from us. We're a smaller content creator. This was many, many years ago. Okay. Fear and Malding was supposed to be called Brand Risk. Okay. Years later, after he made his right-wing pivot, he was celebrating the fact that alongside Aiden Ross, that he had actually stopped me from using the name Brand Risk, and that he was able to give the name Brand Risk to Aiden Ross. Yeah. And now Brand Risk is owned by Aiden Ross, at least for boxing, merch, and entertainment purposes. Yeah. The original name of our podcast, instead of Fear and Malding, was supposed to be Brand Risk. And we didn't want to upset or offend a smaller content creator at the time. And we were like, all right, well, sorry, we didn't know that you had a podcast already called Brand Risk, so we just didn't do it. Anyway.
But essentially, he's wanting to defend you because you did give him a little bit of clout when you come into his country and just shit on it for 40 minutes. Like, what the fuck, dude? But it doesn't end there. Later on in this video, Tyler is walking around the street of all of the escorts, ladies of the nights walking around. And then Tyler sees this restaurant. And Tyler says this.
A lot of prostitutes out here. This is one of the hotels where the ladies get brought to have sex with the customers, the Johns. It is called the Pirate Ship Seafood Restaurant. I guess that's just a front, or seafood restaurant by day, prostitute brothel hotel at night. A little bit inconspicuous at first glance, but in actuality, people are getting banged in there for $15 US.
So Tyler just walking around, sees this restaurant and sees that the lights are on and assumes that, oh my God, that's where all the people are getting fucked in there, man. It's just fucking grimy. It's a brothel. It's the dirtiest place you've ever seen. Yeah, that's where it's happening at. Tyler, this is a Christian catering restaurant that does weddings. Why the fuck would you just make up a lie about this? For what? Like, what is the story that you're trying to tell? Oh, how shitty it is? I don't think you have to disparage a Christian catering restaurant for weddings and say it's a brothel. And the dumbest part about this is, like, you know, Tyler makes like two things. He's like, one, it's a brothel. Two, it's an actual restaurant. And then it's a brothel at night. Like, you can't just say like, oh, maybe it's true, maybe it's not. Which, we're going to go into that later. That's a whole other can of worms. Either way, in that situation, it's a brothel. But you don't know that, Tyler. The thing is like, this is in a country where they're trying to rebuild. And you're just shitting on the people there for no reason. I'm surprised the guy didn't stop you and say, what the fuck are you talking about? You're literally just making this shit up. Why would you do this, Tyler? Oh, because you're trying to get clicks and views by making whatever area you're in the shittiest place ever.
You're informing people about current events, topics that the broader public needs.
Like, there's shitty aspects of every place, dude. No matter where you're from. And you know this. Look around your own neighborhoods, right? Like, there's crime everywhere. Of course. There is no place that is like purely devoid of crime. So anyone from around the planet could go and put a camera to the worst possible aspects or the most impoverished aspects of your neighborhood and present it in this false light. The problem here is that Tyler gets to do this against some of the most marginalized people, whether it's like going to Jamaica, the poorest places in Jamaica, or putting a camera on the faces of homeless people, like people that just don't have any defense mechanisms, like no people that don't get any sort of positive coverage whatsoever from the broader media ecosystem.
Needs to be aware of, and I don't even think we necessarily stand for something besides the search for truth and putting things out there on both sides, even if one of the sides is controversial or pisses someone off.
So let's go later on in this video. Now, Tyler's talking to some transsexual prostitutes and asking them all about the business, and you can see his guide right there. And then all of a sudden, 2 black guys come up to rob him.
Out of nowhere, 2 armed muggers came over to rob me and my cameraman and barely spared us only after recognizing Jamaica walk by as he yelled, "Bumbleclat" in the distance. They told us to turn the cameras off, and instead of robbing us, they agreed to be interviewed if we brought them some cash.
Seems pretty scary. So these thugs let Tyler go withdraw cash from the ATM. They literally let them get in their car and go withdraw cash, and then come back to the spot.
We're basically being extorted right now in real time to where we have to go get some cash, or we run the risk of Fabian getting murdered and killed on the streets one day for conning them.
He's laughing about it.
So 2 guys that robbed you at knife point let you get in your car to go drive to the ATM while they stayed there, and then you come back with about $150 and then convince them to do an interview on camera when you're holding a $3,000 camera that you're filming all of this with. Who's gonna believe this, bro? Who would believe this?
Every one of his fans, like virtually every single one.
That really, you convinced the robbers to give you an interview. Yeah, Tyler, I'm convinced that some guy with a beer gut and a dulled off kitchen knife is, oh my God, they're gonna kill you. Tyler, if you really thought they were gonna kill you, wouldn't you just drive away? Why would you go to the ATM and then come back to try to get an interview? Like, what the fuck are you thinking?
Someone just said Asmongold, yes.
Dude. Tyler even makes it a point to say, we didn't set this up. We didn't plan this.
So we have to get some cash right now because we spent all of our money interviewing prostitutes, not because we prearranged this, but because they were going to mug us.
Why would you say that? If you really were getting robbed at knife point, I don't know if you would go like this.
Whoa, so that's a big old knife.
I'm getting robbed in 4K, bro. Oh, look at your gun. Look at your knife, how big it is, bro. There's no way that actually happened. Now, for this one, I don't have any hard evidence of this being fake, but considering that Tyler's willing to fabricate footage and just make up shit in his videos, I wouldn't put it past him to maybe fabricate this entire situation. But what about what Tyler doesn't tell you in his videos? That could be a little bit important too. Now, Tyler put out this video, I investigated if George Bush did 9/11. Fucking insane topic, but let's get into it. Now, Tyler says he meets up with a first responder on 9/11.
But what if I talk to a first responder on 9/11 who was the New York Fire Commissioner? Let me introduce Chris Joya.
And we're led to believe, wow, this guy fought the fires on 9/11, but now he believes it was actually bombed, that it wasn't the planes. That guy sounds like he has a lot of credibility.
So it's impossible for a building to collapse near free fall speed and increase
without a controlled demolition.
But Tyler leaves out a couple little details. This guy isn't a firefighter. He's a construction worker who volunteered on 9/11. He's a volunteer firefighter.
I'm losing my mind. Tyler Oliveira's done it. Even on an instance where, like, I'm inclined to agree with the underlying premise, he still finds a way to navigate the discourse where I disagree with him and the person he's interviewing.
Tyler says he was there on 9/11.
But what if I talk to a first responder on 9/11?
The guy literally says he wasn't there until 4 days after.
You were on site that day.
I was working across the river doing my construction job, and then the fire department got called to duty to assist. Within a couple of days, we wound up down at ground zero.
But this is just small potatoes. Now, during this video, the man talks about the bombing, how they did it, but he doesn't reveal who did it, which would be a little bit important. Now, the man brings up these people did it.
These people that did it don't even care about that.
Who would these people be? While Tyler doesn't say in the video, nor does Chris Goya, we could go online to this man's organization, the Architects and Engineers for 9/11 Truth. They currently have a federal lawsuit for believing that 5 dancing Israelis blew up the
I didn't want to say it, but it's always going to be every conspiracy theory.
World Trade Center. But Tyler just leaves this information out, because clearly if we knew this guy believed Israel blew up the World Trade Center, we probably wouldn't take him seriously. But I mean, it's all good. It's all in the name of just a little bit of clicks and views, a fun little conspiracy video. And Tyler is so insidious in this video because he's literally leading you 99% of the conspiracy theory, but that 1% of who did it, Tyler doesn't say. So for someone that gets invested in this, you're going to go all the way through, and then if you just go online, you could find out yourself. 5 dancing Israelis, the lawsuit is still happening. But what other details does Tyler leave out? Let's go to his video. I investigated the city where you legally must own a gun.
That's me turning myself into the police in Kennesaw, Georgia, where every head of household by law must own a gun. But does everyone here actually own a gun?
Now Tyler drives down to the town and says, I want to visit the antique store that has the law in writing.
After hearing from the people, I drove downtown to an antique store to see if I could find the law in writing.
So Tyler goes to the antique store, he sees the law in writing, he's talking with the shop owner, they go outside and smoke a cigarette, and then Tyler purchases a bag of assault rocks and a bunch of other items. So much stuff that Tyler needed a bag from this so-called antique store. But Tyler fails to mention some other items this antique store sells. Niglint repellent, a Niglint scalp, minstrel show outfits, and a rack of KKK uniforms worn by ex-members. These are actual photos from inside the store. This isn't a antique store. This is a KKK memorabilia shop that Tyler passed off as a antique shop. Now, do you think supporting a store like this might come off as maybe a little bit racist? A store...
I'm sorry, what? Honestly, that word is one of my favorite slurs, to be honest. It's so fun to say. Jesus Christ, Sean.
Or that literally sells Niglint repellent? I would say...
Okay, all right, Vince, dial it back, man.
A little bit so. But Tyler specifically leaves this detail out because he knows it's bad. I mean, hell, he bought so much stuff from this place that he needed a bag to take out everything he bought. I mean, it's just a grand old time at the KKK store, right? He even shows a little freedom flag playing over the shop owner. So the lady running the KKK store is now all of a sudden a freedom fighter with some shitty green screen American flag? Tyler, good job. Good job, buddy. Now, am I saying this is racist? No. But you could think for yourself. But the saga of the store doesn't end there. Now, in Tyler's next video, he interviewed the most racist man in America.
This is Harrison, Arkansas, and this is the headquarters of the KKK, causing the widespread rumor that Harrison is the most racist town in America.
Oh, I remember this one.
What would happen if me, a white guy, came down asking the same questions? Could I infiltrate the KKK? And will
It's just him interviewing himself in the mirror. Yeah, infiltrate. Could I infiltrate the KKK? You had to cut out all the parts where they're like, oh, Tyler, you're my favorite YouTuber. I love your travel vlogs where you go to black neighborhoods and talk about black on black crime. I missed you at the last week's gathering. Why didn't you show up last week? Were you at another black neighborhood?
Closet racists be more open to sharing their beliefs with me?
Now Tyler drives down to the town and he tries to find this guy who's been in 20 other videos who has like KKK connections or whatever. Now Tyler finds the man, sits down with him, and they're talking all about how much he hates black people and so on and so forth. And in the middle of the video, Tyler pulls out a little gift for the man. Now Tyler said this man just appeared out of nowhere, that he wasn't planning on meeting him.
In all honesty, we were headed to the KKK. I had no intention to meet you.
But he just had this gift ready to go. And that gift was the bag of assault rocks that he bought from the KKK store and gifted it to the most racist man in America.
We got an automatic assault rocks. That's kind of funny, right?
Oh, yes.
Do you really think supporting a KKK store and then gifting it to the most racist man in America is a great idea, Tyler? Like, what the f are you thinking? And Tyler was so proud of this moment that he took a picture with him and he posted it on Instagram and Twitter and even used 2 separate pictures when he made those posts. And Tyler left this little fact out because he knew it would come across as bad. That he went into a KKK store, bought this rocks, and then gave it to the most racist man in America. Now, am I saying this is racist? But you gotta ask, where does Tyler get some of these jokes from? Let's go to his one video, Inside the Country That Pays Immigrants $34,000 to Leave. Now this whole video is about Muslims invading Sweden, and Tyler at the end of the video says this.
We should be asking ourselves, what is a society and culture willing to sacrifice of itself to accommodate those it welcomes? And is a kebab stand in every street corner worth sacrificing a country's entire culture?
And alongside in the thumbnail, Tyler has the word kebab right in the background. Now when Tyler equates an entire ethnicity of people to a kebab stand, kebab, that's a reference to the popular meme, Remove Kebab, which if you don't know, is about the Bosnian military when they genocided 7,500 Muslims and made a song called Remove Kebab. And this song was played as the New Zealand church Christ shooter shot up 51 Muslims in 2 different mosques, and even called himself the Kebab Remover. So I don't know if equating an entire ethnicity of people to a kebab stand
Is a kebab stand in every street corner worth sacrificing a country's entire culture?
maybe comes off as a little bit racist. This is like saying, is a 7-Eleven stand in every street corner worth sacrificing an entire country's culture when I'm talking about Indian people? Tyler, that is a straight up dog whistle. Calling people, is it worth the kebab stand? Like, what the Or what about in Tyler's other videos? In this one, Tyler investigates the Venezuelan gangs invading Colorado. Now, inside, Tyler is in this apartment building, and clearly it's like falling apart. And he hears a smoke alarm chirp in the background, and Tyler says this.
It's been broken multiple times. You can hear the fire alarm that hasn't been changed. That's a meme.
Well, Tyler, where is that meme from?
Yeah, I clocked that shit too when he did that. Oh yeah, black people never change the batteries on their fire alarms.
Oh, it's from 4chan, right here. New dog whistle just dropped. It also is a reference to memes like this. Wow, that is some racist ass shit. Now, the meme is basically that black people don't change their smoke alarms and that they're scared of them. Would a real journalist bring up a insanely racist meme, and that when Tyler heard the smoke alarm chirp, that clearly meant that black people live inside of the building? It's all a big meme, bro. Now to Tyler, this apparently is hilarious, but let's see what else makes Tyler laugh.
These people that we're talking to have never had a random YouTuber in a blue jacket show up to them with a microphone and ask them their feelings or thoughts on anything. No one cares about these people's opinions, except when we come out of nowhere and give them an opportunity to speak and share thoughts, ideas, beliefs that they've been waiting their whole lives to share.
Yeah?
Black people apparently love to shoot other black people.
You own a business out here?
Yeah, chicken and watermelon.
And where did the name come from? It's kind of funny.
Be like, going down the road, you fucking sand monkey. And that's what I say to him.
I got an automatic assault rocks.
He's just never uncomfortable around some of the most objectively racist people on the planet.
Yeah. Now, beyond the funny memes and funny edits, Tyler loves to bring up the hard-hitting journalism, the real questions that people are dying for. Now, I want to bring up another YouTube journalist that does a way better job than what Tyler does. His name is Tommy G, and Tommy G is interviewing some pimps and prostitutes on the street. Now, just to get an idea, pimping is human trafficking.
Low-key, even the fucking dude that loves Sam Hype, who is a neo-Nazi and a pedophile, but the dude that loves him, Brandon Buckingham, even Brandon Buckingham does a better job of covering the subject matter, because at the end of the day, like, Tyler Oliveira goes there with like very overt right-wing sentiment and very overt, like, they're trying to cut right-wing content. But even Brandon Buckingham, who is aligned with a fucking neo-Nazi pedophile, does a better job than Tyler Oliveira when he's covering the subject matter, because he treats human beings like fucking human beings and not pawns in a grand narrative that he's trying to put together. Never say that I'm not charitable even to people who I genuinely think are they're awful. Okay? That's what's so crazy about it. Like I said, it's not like I'm a fan of Brandon Buckingham as a person. And I do think that he is, I mean, that's the most insane thing you could say about a person, is that they're like aligned with a pedophile Nazi. Okay. He's like literally approached me in the past. But I think even Brandon Buckingham does a better job than Tyler Oliveira on this stuff.
If you don't believe so, go read Iceberg Slim's book and you'll find out that it is the most horrible shit out there. And while Tommy G is talking to them, he brings up this.
Where do you see yourself on the balance of good and evil?
Straight good. Ain't no evil in me, you feel me? Everything I'm doing is out the kindness of my heart. I'm trying to make sure everybody that is part of me, I play my part and we smooth.
You're pimping out of the kindness of your heart?
For surely.
Does that sound like an absurd statement to make?
Absolutely not.
Wow, so Tommy's actually pushing back on what people are saying. It's almost like Tommy G actually has a spine. Maybe he has some conviction in what he believes. But now I want to show you the hard-hitting questions that Tyler asks when he's talking to a pimp, a literal human trafficker.
Do you pull out?
Well, you know one thing about it, man. Hey, man, rubbers is not for suckers.
Do you pull out? That's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the hard-hitting journalism that's needed in the world. Do pimps pull out? Literally, you are talking to a human trafficker, and the first thing you think of is,
do you pull out?
And to Tyler, it's really just a big joke. He plays the funny pimp music in the background, and oh, look at the pimp, he's got the funny glasses, and oh, do you pull out, bro? Like, Tyler isn't taking this shit seriously. Tommy G is, actually hitting them with hard questions, pushing back on what they say. Because Tommy actually cares about the content he puts out, really looking for that journalist.
I think that clarification is important. He does, I think Tommy G, and to a certain degree, even Brandon Buckingham, and I don't think these guys are aligned with me in their politics and the way that they see the world at all. But I think the most important part about the content is, like, when you're talking to real human beings, the interesting part about that is their own personal journey, how they arrive at their own personal convictions. Like, what are the things that happen that that made someone the way that they are? And I think that it's very important to make sure that you approach your subjects with respect in that process. Even if you have a right-wing attitude, not saying that Tommy G does. I'm not entirely familiar with his content, but like, I think the only video I ever watched of his was the Kia Boys. And I thought it was pretty decent. But basically, when you go to these communities and you treat your subject matter like they're fucking zoo animals, objects of fascination that are there to be exploited, rather than like human beings that are on their own personal journey and victim to social conditioning, victim to material conditions, you're going to come across like a fucking asshole, which I think is exactly the problem that I have with Tyler Oliveira and his coverage on virtually everything that he decides to cover.
The content he puts out, really looking for that journalistic truth. But in Tyler's eyes, that question is, do you pull out? Like, what the f? Now, one of the worst things, I think, is when Tyler went to the USA-Mexico border and investigated the migrant crisis. Now, Tyler goes to the border, he talks to both sides. Basically, the video is about how when people claim asylum in the United States, they go into these migrant detention camps where there's no food and water, and they stay there for about a week at a time because the Border Patrol system is so backed up. And he even talks to the locals who say that
we're just locals over here who have banded together to deal with this historic moment that's taking place in our town. The Border Patrol is detaining people in 3 separate outdoor detention sites in our area, not providing them with any food, water, shelter, or anything like that. So we've been coming in and filling.
Why is a communist worse than shit under your feet? European chatters, isn't it fucking Christmas right now? Why the fuck are you in here in a Twitch streamer's chat sharpen?
In that role.
Literally, they have had to give these people food and water because the government doesn't. People have died out here in these camps, just waiting to get processed by Border Patrol.
Do you think people would be dying if not for the help you guys have provided?
Most certainly, yes.
Yeah?
Okay. Actually, 2 people have died.
But Tyler rolls upon one camp that was empty earlier and now is full. And when Border Patrol comes to process these people...
I'm gonna see if I can get processed. I should probably get my ID, though.
Are you part of this group?
Sí. Ahora. Okay, I'm gonna be processed.
And Tyler takes up the spot of one of the asylees and tries to get processed by Border Patrol, all as a big fucking joke. Like, what the fuck are you thinking, Tyler? Literally, you took up the spot of someone that was an actual person fleeing their lives as a fucking meme. What the actual fuck are you thinking? You know the Border Patrol system is backed up for years, and you're just adding on to that for no reason at all. And Tyler was so proud of this that he put it in all of his promo for this video, all over TikTok and Instagram. Oh, I pretended to be an asylee and then get processed. Like, this is the most elitist fucking rich kid shit I have ever seen. This is fucking disgusting. And the fact that no one has called you out on this fucking blows my mind. Now, the Border Patrol guards do catch on to Tyler. They clearly see he's like a YouTuber and they kick him out of the bus. But what the fuck are you thinking? Would a journalist really pretend to be an asylee fleeing their lives, trying to get processed by Border Patrol, all as a big joke? I don't fucking think so. Now, Tyler's thumbnails have always been a big critique point for him. People have always said they're sensationalist, they have guns and violence and flames, and it's just these crazy thumbnails that aren't actually from the video that he's filming.
A YouTube thumbnail is a compressed combination of symbols that allow a viewer to know what they're going to be watching as soon as humanly possible. Sometimes they do offend people, and I get it. I genuinely do get it. It's something we're kind of working on, but the videos are often redemptive stories of these people, and the coverage is as balanced as possible on both sides. That's something we strive for.
And I just had this thought. I feel like Tyler's thumbnails are what he
literally sprinkles in a little bit of normal people on the street in an effort to basically turn around and say, no, we cover both sides. We cover all sides of every story. That's it. The videos are insanely slanted to the right. It's not even fucking centrist. Like, I have my own separate set of issues with centrist attitudes in the face of immeasurable injustice. Having said that, however, Tyler doesn't even do that.
He wants the city that he visits to be like. I mean, let's take example for a Sweden video. Now, when Tyler goes there, it seems pretty peaceful. You know, everyone's talking to him on the streets, everything seems pretty fine, but if you look at the thumbnail, you would get a completely different image. We have this guy with the Gucci bag, and he's all Gucci'd out. We have Swedish flags on the ground burning up. We have people with masks on robbing people in the middle of the street. But Tyler doesn't actually see that at all in the video. But the thumbnail is what he wishes the video would be. Let's go to his George Floyd video. Now, when Tyler goes there, he obviously sees like the George Floyd shrine, he's talking to people on the streets, but what Tyler wanted that video to be was he wanted to see a bunch of cops praying down the George Floyd, but clearly he didn't see that. I mean, even in his video about the cat eating Haitians. Now, Tyler doesn't ever run into someone holding cats and they're running around and there's flames in the background. He never sees that at all in the video. But Tyler in the thumbnail, he presents there's smoke and there's flames and there's cats running around. Black guys just holding cats, but he never sees it. And one thing I thought about in the thumbnails is like, most journalists I don't think would make a random image of stuff they have never even seen or never even proven to have been seen and present that in the thumbnail as almost as if it's truth. Now, Tyler's thumbnails come a lot from that whole Mr. Beastified.
Like, remember, if Tyler is a journalist, remember applying the same standards that you would apply to CNN. People get rightfully mad at CNN for changing headlines, New York Times for changing headlines, or for burying the lead in a story, for refusing to cover certain stories, for omitting key details from certain stories, right? This is a big part of what I do is try to create media literacy in my audience. If I were to apply those same standards to Tyler's channel, it would have to be taken down. Like, if CNN was processing slop with the same rate, and they do a lot of the stuff that right-wingers complain about. CNN certainly does, you know. But if they were doing it with the same frequency and with the same lack of interest in even telling you what the fuck is going on the ground, we would shut down major institutions, okay? Tyler Oliveira, the Sun, worse. He's worse than New York Post. That's the problem. And many people don't understand it. They like, you know, they do victory laps over the Clarissa Ward shit, as did I. But then they don't understand that, like, the guy that they think is the honest truth teller that simply agrees with his position is straightforwardly doing way worse shit than CNN. The reason I like Tom G over Tyler is because he's obviously inspired by Vice, where Tyler's inspired by C5. He just does super shitty without the same context or undertones that Andrew would add. Yeah.
Type game. And, you know, these type of thumbnails would be fine for like a prank video, like a Brent Riviera video. I had my sister date 100 guys, and then you have 100 ugly guys that are all lined up. But in the video, we never really see that. It's almost like a big caricature of what the video is. And for a video like that, where it's almost like a prank video, typical YouTuber, you're essentially faking the video, that isn't a big problem. But when you're trying to present videos as like actual investigative journalism, like this is what's happening, Tyler never actually sees this stuff going on. But he's always highlighting, he's always making the extreme end of it. And these thumbnails are just the idea of what Tyler wants these cities to be. And I think that really lines up with how he edits the videos, how he uses fake evidence and footage, all in the name to present this fake narrative. And yeah, I'm like crazy sick right now. I just thought that was interesting, so let's continue on. Now, to end this video off, I want to go over Tyler's worst video. Inside the Ohio town invaded by cat-eating Haitians. Now, when Tyler put this out, it got a ton of press. All over Twitter, all over YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. And this video got 47.6 million views across all platforms online. Now, while this video got a ton of good press from people online saying that this is proof they're eating the
Lou Dobbs and InfoWars. Wonderful stuff.
Cats, it also got a ton of criticism online. And when Tyler responded to all of this criticism, Tyler said that that video that he made, this video we're going to talk about right here, It wasn't about the Haitians eating the cats. No. It was about a demography shift.
It's interesting that in Springfield, the whole they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs is not a conversation point here, nor have I brought that up due to YouTube censorship. And also, I understand that at the end of the day, and even at the core of that video, that's not what it's about. It's about demography shift.
Well, let's see how many times Tyler asked the questions, do Haitians eat the cats?
Haitian immigrants flooded into town with rumors of them eating the neighbor's cats.
Also, a demographic shift in Springfield, Ohio, in and of itself is like white supremacist slop again. Like, unless you personally believe that these dudes who are bilingual, multilingual, oftentimes straight up fucking coming from a higher degree of education, escaping dire circumstances in places like Haiti, are somehow lesser than the pre-existing Springfield, Ohio residents, there is no issue with a demography shift. Now, I can think of one reason why people would suspect these Haitian migrants of ruining Springfield, Ohio. I think of one big reason why people falsely assume that, you know.
Haitians are eating cats. Are these Haitians eating cats? Haitians are taking neighbors' cats and eating.
The Haitians are eating the neighbor's cats. Rumors of neighbor's cats going missing, getting eaten. Haitians eating the neighbor's cats. Haitians taking cats. Are they eating cats? Haitians are kidnapping the neighbor's cats and eating them.
Again, no cat eating.
Cats are getting kidnapped? Is that
Yes.
true?
Yes, my mom
You're
actually
laughing.
my mom actually
What have you
seen a
seen?
post on Facebook. I believe it. Like, I've heard rumors about them taking the geese and killing them.
I wouldn't be surprised though, because we used to have a lot of cats around here.
¿Es cierto que personas comen los gatos o no? Bonjour.
You got a cat right beside him.
Stop! Well, I've seen a video of a guy getting a Canadian goose, a Haitian dude.
We've lost a whole bunch of cats. There was a van pulled over that had over 100 cats in it with the Haitians. They said they was eating them.
Actually?
Yeah.
Not fake news.
Not fake news.
Nah, man, it's not that you are weak. It's that I would smoke cigarette butts, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, sensitive to use cyberspace to help media police. When you say these trademark Hasanabi things I'm having, if I'm having my Christmas, I get a little dizzy. Huh? I think bro had a stroke while he was typing that out.
So I understand that at the end of the day, and even at the core of that video, that's not what it's about. It's about demography shift.
So the video that isn't about eating the cats has the thumbnail, do you eat the cats? Hundreds of cats all in the background, inside the Ohio town invaded by cat-eating Haitians. You literally ask everyone in the video, are the Haitians eating the cats? Yeah, I would say that's what the video's about, Tyler. Now, Tyler loves to try to slime his way away from any criticism he receives, but this video was about Haitians eating cats. And you might ask, well, is that a rumor based on anything true? Now, in the beginning of the video, Tyler shows his evidence of the Haitians eating the cats. And we see this body cam footage from a police officer and this lady eating a cat.
Rumors of them eating the neighbor's cats and local geese.
What did you do? Why'd you kill the cat? Did you eat that cat? Did you eat it?
Now, you would think that, oh wow, the lady's black. It seems like, okay, she must be Haitian. Oh, okay, so the Haitians are eating the cats. But this clip is of an American citizen that was literally on a psychotic breakdown that ate a cat. But Tyler is passing this off as the Haitians are eating the cats, and this is the evidence. But then Tyler shows another clip. Now, the rumor then turned into, are the Haitians also eating the gooses? So Tyler then shows this picture of a black man that we see walking with two geese.
Well, I've seen a video of a guy getting a Canadian goose, a Haitian dude.
And we're thinking, wow, okay, so because the man's black, okay, he's Haitian, and then he has two geese, okay, so...
Motherfucker works with the Department of Wildlife, dude. Random woman in a different part of Ohio gets arrested during a psychotic episode. Random fucking wildlife guy, Department of Wildlife guy, is picking up geese, like picking up roadkill, okay? All of a sudden, that's what makes this fucking story a national, that's what creates national prominence for the story. It was one of the craziest misinformation cycles that I encountered in my past 10 years of covering politics. How fast it took place, how it intersected with so many of the normal vectors of hate, undocumented migrants, black people in an otherwise white supremacist country. It was mind-boggling how quickly Twitter was able to take this untruth and turn it into something that people truly believed, even people that were living in fucking Springfield, Ohio. And nothing, like nobody was punished for this, by the way. Nobody. Like there were no one was like, let me be skeptical next time I hear Trump say some shit. Let me be skeptical next time I hear, JD Vance say some shit. Let me be a little bit more skeptical of like right-wing institutions that are very clearly disseminating misinformation. It made its way up to the presidential debate. Now, the Democrats have done similar things as well. Joe Biden, remember, famously said there were dead babies that were burned alive with kerosene, decapitated babies. That's a lie. That never happened. His staffers had to come out and admit that that was not a real thing that he had seen and that they had no idea where Joe Biden got this information from. Joe Biden also, once again, famously said, oh, well, I don't trust the Hamas-run health ministry numbers, even though it was almost always the American State Department and the Israeli government's own assessment that the Hamas-run health ministry had accurate numbers that, like I said, the CIA and the Israeli government also relied on. Numbers that have been time and time again proven to be actually undercounts, not overcounts, but undercounts by third-party investigators. So the very fact that, certain narratives can just all of a sudden become truth happens on both sides of the political equation. And it's certainly something that the mainstream media also elevates and addresses without the veracity that these, or without the critical lens that these stories deserve. But as far as the misinformation faucet goes, how insane it is that this story that was so clearly like a racist minstrel show was able to become the dominating headline that led to people sending bomb threats to Springfield, Ohio over the course of one singular week, making its way to the fucking debate stage, the presidential debate stage, was insane.
It has to be Haitians eating the geese now, too. But this image was also debunked. This was an American citizen picking up roadkill on the side of the road, and someone snapped a picture and spread false misinformation like this. Now, this whole video is based around Tyler just asking questions, or the Haitians eating the cats, with no evidence to back it up. Now, this is a common tactic used by conspiracy theorists. So Tyler, let me ask you a question. I heard your mom was sucking some dong for $50 at the bar, and I had a good friend of mine tell me that they saw her in the car sucking some dong. Is that true, Tyler? Does your mom suck dong for $50? I can tell you an insane conspiracy theory based on no evidence, present it as a question, and it almost gives it some validity.
Aliens built the pyramids? Do you think it's possible George Bush did 9/11?
Wait for me right now. Oh, who are you afraid of?
Oh my God, that was an amazing reaction. That's how most people should react to Tyler Oliveira.
Men. Which men? Men in general, or specific types of men who come from different places?
Men.
If he was black, would you guys date?
Bonjour.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
You speak English, French?
How disrespectful is that?
You had a kid who was 5 years old and they said, Daddy, I'm a guy, but I think I'm a girl. What would you say?
I can't lie. I do despise the fact that right-wingers also have an unimaginable bandwidth for shit like this. If I had a similar predicament, if I had a similar situation where I just like automatically assumed that a random black guy walking down the street was actually of Haitian descent who couldn't speak English at all, that would be plastered all over. Virtually everyone from Keemstar, maybe to even fucking Fox News, would be talking about how racist I am. But when you're a right-winger, you just get to do that over and over again, and no one even questions it. Like, you could have a random accident that could be portrayed in mainstream media. Sometimes it's not even a random accident. If you recall, famously, when I was at the Palestinian protests in Australia, it made it to Australian national news because a fan of mine came up to me and yelled at me. This is before BDS put Coca-Cola on its national list. And it was literally, it was straight up just like, it was national news in Australia. Because a random fan of mine came up to me and was like, oh, you're drinking Coke? Like, can you stop drinking Coke or nor? My reaction did not matter. That was a clippable enough moment for it to go and become a prominent, newsworthy endeavor. Tyler Oliveira can do whatever the fuck he wants at the behest of serving white supremacist agitated propaganda. And in that process, he can just do whatever he wants. And no one will even bat an eye.
How does it feel to facilitate more deaths
via secondhand obesity.
You are trespassing. Leave my building now. Leave the building now.
Okay. I mean, if you want to give me the answer, you tell me what answer I'm going to give you.
No, I'm just asking the question.
And Tyler knows that. But if you were to push me back on that, like, bro, my mom doesn't suck dong for 50 bucks. Oh, well, I'm just asking a question, man. Don't get mad at me. That's what Tyler's doing here. Because this whole thing of Tyler asking people if the Haitians eat the cats, let's think about another equivalent. This is like going up to Asian people point blank and saying, I heard on Twitter that Asian people are eating dogs. Is that true?
Yeah, that is exactly what I said at the time as well. That's literally what this is. That's straight up what it is.
Tyler doesn't have any social brain to maybe think, maybe that might not be an appropriate question to ask. Why did no one else make this video on YouTube? Maybe because it's a little bit racist. Now, Andrew Callahan, Channel 5, he runs another channel that Tyler essentially ripped off from and made into his own thing. Does the same thing. He goes boots on the ground, does journalism. And Andrew even made it a point to say that he would not be coming to Springfield to ask people about the Haitians eating the cats.
By the time I wrapped up my report in Colorado, the front lines of the migrant hysteria crisis had already shifted fronts, from Aurora over to Springfield, Ohio, where Trump and J.D. Vance claimed that Haitians were eating cats.
They're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats.
A claim that was debunked by the mayor, the state, and basically everybody else. After the presidential debates, my inbox was flooded by emails saying that Channel 5 should go there. But guess what? I'm not going. I'm not going to follow every shitty thing that Trump says about migrants across the country and feed the algorithm they've created by lying.
But Tyler doesn't care because he knew he was going to get mad views on this. And he clearly did. 47.6 million views. Now, this video is a whole can of worms in terms of the whole just asking questions things. And what's really like annoying about all of this is that it could only take Tyler a minute to spread misinformation, but it takes an hour to debunk it. Now, I'm not going to go through this entire video and all of the little details about it, but essentially this whole just asking questions things, this is in nearly all of Tyler's videos, and the Springfield video is the creme de la creme of it. And like, it's one thing to let people speak about what they think when you ask them a question to make themselves look dumb, but when Tyler doesn't push back on anything they say, it's almost like he's kind of not co-signing, but almost like, okay,
No, he is co-signing. That's why he's wearing a Be Like Poland hat while talking to some fucking random racist charlatan that doesn't even have like a significant base of support in Poland.
Is some evidence to this, but there's absolutely none.
There was Haitians in a white van driving around the neighborhoods collecting cats.
For what?
Skinning them and eating them.
So a van was collecting cats and eating them.
I watched it happen, yeah. Watched them get pulled over with the cats and admit to the police that they was eating them.
You're not joshing with me.
No, I'm almost 50 years old, buddy. I don't know.
See,
this was my favorite line. Me and Felix, remember when Felix and I reacted to this? By the way, if you want to see what my... if you want to see what like kind of coverage I've offered to this, I believe I did the video as well. Tyler Oliveira. Of course, when I cover Tyler Oliveira's videos, usually YouTube doesn't offer it any sort of movement, any sort of motion whatsoever. The fake right-wing misinformation gets 47 million views. Correcting this right-wing misinformation and covering it. Wait, hold on. Oh, here. This is the one. This is the one. Covering the right-wing misinformation, on the other hand, gets 186,000 views. It gets demonetized. It gets pushed away in the algorithm because YouTube does certainly like right-wing content. That's just the reality of the matter. Like, this is an underperforming video for me. But if you want to see how I covered it, this is me and Felix looking through it. This is like a fucking 47 minute reaction to Tyler Oliveira's like racist ass bullshit.
A real journalist would push back on what these people say. When people talk about, oh my God, I saw the police, the cats in the van and everything. Tyler could have gone down to the police station and gotten the police report if this guy was for real. But Tyler didn't, because he just wants to take this guy's rumor and just spread it on as it's actually fact. And Tyler knows that if he ever gets pushed on this, he could always go back to the whole, I'm just asking questions, bro. But Tyler doesn't care about fixing the problems that he so often shows the world, because the dollar at the end of the day is Tyler's goal, and his incentive is to highlight and throw gasoline and incentivize as many of these problems as possible because it gets Tyler as many clicks as possible. This video took about 4 months to make, and I only went through a few of his videos. Now, there are so many videos that are based in the same format online that I think a lot more debunking needs to be done. A lot more of this just misinformation, hoaxes, and just made up shit needs to be taken down, because it is so harmful to our platform. If we're really trying to have actual truth-seeking journalism, really try to show that, because everything I've showed you today is anything but that. And I would just ask you one last time, is all of this stuff in this video something a real journalist would do? Thank you for watching.
Good video. They all beg the question of hide behind plausible deniability like a bunch of cowards. Yeah. I mean, for Tyler, it's like not even begging the question and hiding behind plausible. I mean, I guess he does that to a certain degree. I think he does that to amplify his commentary, though. He does that because every person...
A recent study has revealed that YouTube's recommendation algorithm tends to promote right-leaning and Christian content, even to users who have not previously interacted with such material. The 4-part research conducted by the London-based Institute for Strategic Dialogue, which focuses on extremism, examined video recommendations given to accounts mimicking users interested in 4 specific topics: gaming, male lifestyle influencers, mommy vloggers, and Spanish language news. Gallagher, the project's lead analyst, explained that the research aimed to explore topics that typically don't lead users into extremist realms to create mock users' personas. Researchers built accounts by searching for content, subscribing to channels, and watching videos over the course of 5 days. After this, they tracked the video recommendations for these accounts for a month. The study highlighted that YouTube's recommendation algorithm drives 70% of all video views. For instance, in one experiment, the most recommended news channel for both child and adult accounts interested in male lifestyle guru content was Fox News, despite neither account engaging with it during the persona building phase. Instead, they had watched content by Joe Rogan, Jordan Peterson, and searched for alpha male. This suggested that YouTube associated male lifestyle content with conservative ideologies. Another part of the study looked at 2 accounts following mommy vloggers, one with a right-wing bias and the other with a left-wing one. Despite both watching Fox News and MSNBC equally, the right-leaning account received more frequent recommendations for Fox News, while the left-leaning account was recommended more content related to the subscribed mommy vlogger. These findings suggested a greater recommendation of right-leaning news content over left-leaning options. Additionally, videos with religious themes, mainly Christianity, were recommended to all accounts, even though none had interacted with such content during their persona building. For example, accounts interested in mommy vloggers were shown videos featuring Bible verses. The researchers also noted that sexually explicit content was recommended to the child account, along with videos featuring banned influencers like Andrew Tate, despite his controversies and legal issues. If you found this video interesting, then make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this, and thanks for watching.